Good evening. Woo, got it. Good evening. Come on in, focus family. Let's get these natural eyes to focus like our mind is focusing. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. We have some work to do. Some exciting work. Yes, Lisa Palmer. Can you believe it? We made it to night 27. And we're going to make it to night 30. I just knew it. Come on. Come on. Come on in. I want to talk to you. Hope your day is going well. I hope you've gotten enough water in you. Come on, Manuel Davis. Thank you. Heave up the charge. $9.99. More clarity, more focused, more accomplished. That's what I'm talking about. Don't mess around with a man who's focused. Come on in. We're moving up slowly. What a winter we're having. Isn't this good to have this time together with this horrible winter? I hate to complain, but this horrible winter that we're having. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you tonight about the body speaks before the mind explains. The body speaks before the mind explains. Type that up in the chat for me. The body speaks before the mind explains. All right, we're still hanging up there at about 60, so I'm going to go ahead and begin anyway. Welcome to Soul Detox, our 10th season. Woo! It is our 27th night this year. I am your host, Apostle Dr. Suzanne M. Howard, and our focused theme this year is Own Your Focus. In case you didn't know, we did come to remind you. You're not broken. You've got to learn some new habits. You've got to learn how the brain works, how your brain works, so that you can win in the soul. How you doing with your water intake? Are we taking in water? How about protein? We learned last night a little bit more about the importance of water and protein and prayer. Does anybody else remember what else that was? I think it was 4 or 5 things that I named. And Reverend Jerry got one of them. He mentioned the prayer. Anyone else remember? Come on in, because we're no longer living from survival. We're living with intention. We're choosing growth over fear. We're choosing ownership over excuses. We are becoming the architect of our life. Movement, come on. Pastor D, that's it. Come on. Was there one more? Was there one more? Water, protein, because we talked about movement getting oxygen to the brain, right? Water for cognition. If anyone says it, just pop it up on the screen so I can see it. Yes, yes, and yes. Yeah, I think this is the area I want to be in. Hydration, stillness. Did anybody, somebody mention stillness? Who said stillness, Eb? All right, Gwyneth Douglas. Was that the first one that said stillness? All right, Gwyneth, you get a mug. Put the mugs on the screen, Ev. We're doing our giveaway already tonight. Evangelist Gwen, just say which mug you want. You can get the black Detox Your Soul, or you can get the colorful mug that's probably like you, very colorful, and has all of the focus statements on there for encouragement. Let us know what one you want so we can get the order processed and get out to you right away. So it was very important to practice hydration, stillness, repetition. All right, I see that's up there too. Evangelist Gwen took some notes yesterday. Focus exercises, prayer, healthy rhythms. I think somebody said routine, right? These are the things that we need to do. I was thinking this morning that I need to make some type of journal, maybe a 30-day journal to go along with this so that we can, or maybe a 52-week journal for the year, and start out with your water intake and, have your water intake throughout the day, every hour, your protein, some of the decrees and declarations should be doing, the prayer of healing and deliverance that you should do over yourself. I was thinking about putting something like that together. Yeah, every time you practice hydration, stillness, repetition, focus exercises, prayer, and healthy rhythms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was 6 of them. And you practice these things. And this is how you know that you're not stuck, that you're in training. Yes, I love the mugs too. Absolutely. So come on in. We've got some work to do tonight. This is what I want you to type in. If you've posted your 3 wins, I want you to go ahead and type this in the chat. The body speaks before the mind explains. That would be great. Okay. So they like that year journal, workbook kind of type thing. And we'll take a lot of the quotes out of the 30 days, and we'll make sure we have the checklist of how we're supposed to be taking care of ourselves, because I don't want anyone to stop caring for themselves after we end these 30 days. That's a big no, no, no. That's a big no, no, no. That is important to me. And this is what I say to some of my clients. Can you please be nice to yourself? You are a very important person to me, and I need you to care for my friend or my client. And they laugh. And I say it every time. Can you be kind to yourself this week? Can you show yourself some compassion this week? Because I'll say, because Ebony's a friend of mine, and I would like you to take care of my friend, please. And I'll be talking to Ebony. And they laugh. And when I don't say it, they'll be like, you're not going to tell me to take care of your friend? I say, oh, yes, I'm sorry. You're right. And it encourages people that they are loved. They are cared for. They matter. They are important to someone somewhere, even when we may be last on our own list. Somebody cares about us. And today, I just feel really horrible about myself. It wasn't a win day, but I'm going to take care of myself because Suzanne loves me, because Suzanne feels that I'm important. Sometimes it may sound ridiculous to you, but sometimes that self-love tank can be really empty. And when someone else reminds you, I care about you, take care of yourself, please. You're important to me. Spouses should say that to each other. I think that's good. Very good. Well, we had our first winner tonight, Evangelist Gwen Douglas. I guess that's your early birthday gift as well, huh? Aw, that's beautiful. So again, the second portion of Lisa Palmer's request, I meant to say last night, that last night's program was sponsored by intercessor Lisa Palmer, because she asked that we talk more about neuroscience. Did you enjoy the teaching last night on neuroscience? Does it make a whole lot of sense to you now? Well, the second part she asked us to talk about was chapter 5. So we're going to go ahead and jump into chapter 5 tonight. And then Pastor D had also sent in some things, and I think I'll hit that on our final night because we're going to get back to our work tomorrow and wrap this thing up. Good job. Good job. So the body speaks before the mind explains. Anybody can attest to that? Like before I knew that my problem was mental or emotional, my body was already falling apart. My body already felt 65 and I was 25. Anybody say, I feel like I'm aging so fast. My body's falling apart. And you kind of maybe chalk it up to old age, but a part of you has a feeling that this isn't old age. Something else is going on. And that's because the body speaks before the mind explains. On page 49, chapter 5, I'm just going to briefly touch a couple topics here in the book, and then we're going to jump into an expanded teaching at the request of a Focus family member, intercessor Lisa Palmer. Chapter 5 talks about the anatomy of mental noise. When your thoughts get loud, when your focus needs quiet. Mental noise is not random. It is not meaningless. It is your mind acting up. Mental noise is communication. See, I need communication. What kind of communication do you want? Because mental noise is communication. It is your brain's alarm system, memory system, and emotional system all speaking at the same time without a translator. And it shows up as overthinking, intrusive thoughts, racing mind, replaying conversations, imagining worst case scenarios, sudden reminders of unfinished tasks, and the inability to turn your brain off. This noise is exhausting. If you know about this noise, type that in the chat. This noise is exhausting, not because you can't handle life, but because your mind is constantly processing life all at once without permission. And it all seems that it stems from one truth. Your mental noise is the language of unprocessed emotions. I don't know why I didn't have that underlined, because that's a good topic to talk about. Your mental noise is the language of unprocessed emotion. The bottom of page 49. Let's learn what each part of the noise is trying to say. And then in this chapter, it goes on to talk about the 3 forms of mental noise. We have our survival noise. That's a whole topic. Shame noise, another whole topic. And then we have future noise. Seems like so long ago, right, that we went through this, but hopefully you do remember that we touched on this. I think we spent a little time in here too. The body feels what the brain fears. That's another highlight there. The body feels what the brain fears. Mental noise, and this is the bottom of 52, mental noise is not just thoughts. It becomes physical. Tight chests, shallow breathing, tense shoulders, stomach knots, headaches, restlessness, insomnia, and even fatigue. Your body holds every thought your mind refuses to process. And you thought time was a healer. Time was a barrier. It buries. It doesn't heal. Time is a defense mechanism. Time is a coping mechanism. Your body holds every thought your mind refuses to process. This is why focus requires not only mental skills, but emotional healing and nervous system safety. I want you to write that in your journal. If you can as well, pop it in the chat after you write it in your journal. Nervous system safety. Nervous system safety. That is so big important, because that's what causes all of this problem. The chatter, the distractions, the not being able to keep your attention long enough, constantly having your attention pulled away that you can't focus. It all boils down to you are not feeling safe. And when you're not feeling safe and you don't realize that you're not feeling safe, you are pulled away by everything, every wind of doctrine, everything that blows, you are pulled away to it. So there's an awareness that you should have now at this point in the teaching, 27 nights of this, that there is a safety that you owe yourself. There is a safety perhaps other people could not give you, but you must give it to you. It was optional for them, unfortunately, but it is not optional for you. It is important for you. You owe yourself. This is stewardship. You owe yourself emotional safety. Your nervous system depends on it. The silence you crave is not emptiness, it's peace. People say all the time, I just want to quiet my mind. I wish I could stop overthinking. I hate that I can't shut my brain off. But it's not silence you want. What you really want is peace. You want safety, clarity, confidence, permission to rest. I'm going to write that on a prescription form. You remember the prescription forms that I used to have written up? Eb, do you remember them? I know your mom does. And a wonderful woman from Florida said, if I ever made that prescription into a t-shirt, she said she'd buy 25 of them. She wanted to give them to all her families at the family reunion. Permission to rest. And rest isn't sleep. A lot of us go to sleep. Sometimes we have to learn how to rest. Have a sitting area that you sit in and rest. You need space to feel, and you need the ability to breathe. So what we've been working on and what this chapter goes on to further discuss is the truth that breaks the cycle. It's the truth that breaks the cycle. And then we talk about a new way forward, and then we go into our exercise. So let's put the book aside for a moment and let me indulge you into some extended teaching on chapter 5, some extended teaching on chapter 5. And that's why I started out tonight, if you weren't in on time, and I said, the body speaks before the mind explains. Tonight, I want to remind your nervous system of something powerful. You are not the same person you were 27 nights ago. Take that. Oh, what the kids do? Take that. Thank you, Ebony. You are not the same person you were 27 nights ago. Your brain has been practicing new patterns. I have evidence. Your nervous system has been stabilizing. I have the evidence. And your focus capacity has been strengthening. I, as your coach, has the evidence. Neuroplasticity means your brain changes based on what you repeatedly practice. This is what we talked about on last night. Let's let your body experience this, not just understand it. And we're going to understand it, and then we're going to do an exercise at the end. Did y'all appreciate the exercise last night? We're going to do an exercise again tonight at the end. I was thinking about opening up with one, but I think we'll save it to the end. So the expanded teaching for chapter 5, what mental noise actually is. That was the question that was addressed to me. What mental noise actually is. Mental noise is not thinking. It is not thinking. Mental noise is unfiltered internal stimulation. Wow. Wow. Try to tell us that 30 days ago, we probably wouldn't believe it. You ain't going to tell me it's not thinking. My mind is all over the place. I am overwhelmed, over inundated with mental noise. It's trafficking. All of these thoughts have me thinking. No, it is unfiltered internal stimulation. It's the constant background chatter that interrupts your peace, competes for attention, pulls you out of the present, and drains emotional energy. Whew, why would anybody want to share life with these four? Mental noise often sounds like this. Some of these may sound similar to you. Yours may be different. You should be doing more. Something bad is going to happen. It's predictive. This mental noise is predictive. Something bad is going to happen. Anybody get those once in a while? The weirdest thing, right? It's commentary. You should be doing more. Everybody else is ahead. Comparison. You're running out of time. You are too old now. Pressure. And why did I say that? Replay. That's what mental noise sounds like. Mental noise feels personal, but it's patterned neurological activity. This is not your identity. This is patterned neurological activity. So there's the three layers of mental noise that we've discussed in the book that I'm going to break down a little further. Layer one is the automatic thought loops. When we did the year on self-esteem, I think we did an earlier year on self-esteem too. I have to think about because I'm not talking about the group therapy one, but like a couple years before that, we did a whole teaching on automatic thoughts. That year was a lot of work. I had about 4 or 5 coaches helping me. There was assessments that were turned in every Monday. Do you remember those, Eb? Every Monday we had to turn assessments in. You had to do a planner on your day so we can catch where your thoughts were worse, where they were coming from. We did a lot of work with people then that year. And one of the things that we really got heavy into is what we're calling tonight, layer one, automatic thoughts. Those are cognitive noises. They are thoughts that repeat automatically. They don't want your permission. They don't wait for your permission. They don't need your permission. They repeat automatically. And this is how they formed. This is what invited them in. Past experiences. Past experiences invited them in. The trauma you suffered invited them in. Repetition invited them in. Emotional learning invited them in. And survival patterns is another one on my short list of thoughts that loop over and over and over again. This was the invitation that was sent to them. And it came from a few different places, and I named 5 of them. Some of the examples of these loop thoughts that are automatic, they're automatic repeat, rewind, automatic. I always mess things up. I can't slow down. People need me constantly. Do any of those ring true to anyone? This layer runs without conscious permission. It doesn't need conscious permission. See how powerful the mind is? That's why we have to understand it, learn it, know it, and be a leader of it. Layer 2 is emotional activation. That's the nervous system noise. This is when feelings fuel the thoughts. Your body is sending you signals because you haven't been keeping up on the mental chatter, the mental noise. So now your body is sending you signals. You didn't hear it. You didn't catch the earlier stuff, the earlier alarms. So now we're giving you stress, fatigue, hunger. Are you really hungry? Ask yourself that. I watch people go to the refrigerator and they just ate. I said, are you really hungry? And they laugh now and they close the door. It's not that. It's when feelings are fueling your thoughts. That's a tough one to say. Feelings are fueling the thoughts. Overstimulation, emotional overload. These are body signals. Fatigue, hunger, stress. The brain then amplifies the noise so that it can regain control. This is why mental noise increases when you're tired. When you're tired, mental noise increases because you are at a disadvantage. So your mind, your body cannot fight to regulate the dysfunction so that you can function operationally according to God's original plan and purpose and will for your life. We're not supposed to be fatigued. We're not supposed to be tired. We're supposed to go to sleep before we're tired. You ever heard that the doctors would say, if you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated? We feel thirsty, and the first thing we think about is grabbing something to drink because I must be thirsty. A thirsty person is a dehydrated person. And this is why it's important to hydrate every hour. Well, that's the same way that this all works. It increases. When you are tired and you don't know you're tired, you're already in burnout. You have to pay attention to the signs of your body, the pains of your body. Sleep is a boundary. Sleep is a boundary. Rest should be a boundary. We should not be tired and still going. Something's out of order with our life. So mental noise will increase when you're tired, when you're overwhelmed, when you haven't eaten well, when you've had conflict, and when you're overstimulated. The body speaks before the mind explains. Layer 3, habitual attention pulls. This is behavioral noise. Number 3, behavioral noise. Habitual attention pulls. Like little kids. This is where your attention keeps drifting automatically. It drifts to the phone, to the news, to people, to tasks, to worries, to fixing others. Your brain learned this relieves the discomfort. Did you hear me? Your attention keeps drifting automatically. It's a coping mechanism. It's trying to protect you. So I'm going to go pick up my phone right now. I'm going to take another swallow of that water. I'm going to go to the refrigerator. I'm going to get the fork. I'm going to go look at the news. I'm going to go talk to people. Oh, I want to do this task. Oh, my worries, my worries, my worries. I want to go fix others because your brain learned somewhere in your life, you taught it that this relieves your discomfort. So we will actually work, be task oriented. We will work over enjoying our life. Our enjoyment will come more from work than living because the brain learned this relieves discomfort. Who are the workaholics that we need to get into a program with? Workaholics. Why do you work? Because it's most fruitful. You're probably most appreciated there. You feel the most success in your life. So for you, it's become a place of comfort. So you avoid the discomfort of life and you get into your work and you don't mind working 12 and 14 hours. I remember my bosses used to tell me to go home. They would come in and say, "Why are you still here?" It felt good to work because outside of work, I didn't have any control with the things that were going on in my life. I had no boundaries. I was an extreme people pleaser. And the only place I felt a reward, I felt a safety, I felt a sense of control. And on the other end, a sense of accomplishment, I worked. And it worked until it didn't. So why does mental noise feel so loud? There's 3 reasons for this. 3 reasons for this. 1, the brain prefers familiarity. The brain prefers familiarity. That's why mental noise feels so loud. Number 2, stress keeps the alarm system active. Get rid of stress in your life by every means necessary. Research has verified that stress in your body releases cancer cells. You cannot afford, in so many ways, Use the term afford. You cannot afford to be stressed. If you are already suffering with a autoimmune deficiency, if you are already dealing with a body that suffers from chronic stress and chronic abuse, you specifically cannot afford stress. And you need to find ways to alleviate it as much and as soon as possible. And for the rest of us, put yourself right up there on the list. It's not good for anyone. And there's cells they're finding out that we're all born with that have a purpose that they're not fully sure of, but stress can release them. And when they're released under stress terms, they actually can attack the body. And one of those being cancer. I studied that. So how does mental noise get quieted? How does it get quieted? Not silenced. How does it get quieted? Because you can't fight mental noise. This is what you have to do. Are you ready? You have to outgrow it. You have to outgrow it. And you don't outgrow it with time. You have to do the work. You have to grow up. You have to develop. You have to become mature in your life choices and your decisions. Because noise is going to reduce when your nervous systems feel safe. When is the last time you felt safe? Can you post that in the chat for me? If you feel safe answering that question. When was the last time your nervous system felt safe? Did you have an experience today? Yesterday? Last year? When you were a kid? When was the last time your nervous system felt safe? I know through doing this rework in this group therapy environment, I'm seeing more places where I did not recognize I didn't feel safe. I didn't realize it in some of the most simplest places. I did the work and I found like major places and I was like, woo, got it, did it, man, check. And now I'm finding in these 30 days, there's some real simple, subtle places that I've just been cordially cohabitating with. And it's when certain things happen in my life, I realized that the reason I respond to those certain things the way I do is because I don't feel safe. When I pray, I love it. I can agree with you, sir. Ooh, felt that in my heart. A lot of people are saying when they pray. When I was worshiping on the bus. Yes, I know that's right. So worship and prayer seems to be the places where we feel the safest. Thank you, Marquita. I see you sold. Thank you very much. Whew. That's a breather. We can breathe. Noise reduces when your nervous system feels safe, when your body is regulated, when your routines stabilize. It's not a boring life or an old life or a New England life to have routines. Routines stabilize our lives. It sends safety messages to our nervous system. Your routines need to stabilize. Your mind learns stillness. These are all the places where noise reduces. And when your focus muscles strengthen. This detox that we're in is doing exactly that. So give yourself a hand praise. This detox is doing exactly that. And that's why some of you may have slept better than you ever have. Some of you may have needed more rest than you ever have because your nervous system is saying, whew, thank God you joined this program. Now you're understanding me. Now we can cohabitate together. Instead of you feeling like I'm working against you, that I'm coming to slow you down, I just need you to understand me so that we can work together. This detox is doing just that. That's why this work is important. Even when you show up for sessions and you don't feel like you're getting anything out of it. I have clients that started with me when Soul Detox first started 10 years ago, and they're still with me to this day. Still to this day. They've never said to me, well, I think I reached my limit. They said, I miss these sessions when I don't have them. They've never said, I don't feel like I'm getting anything out of it. New things come up in their lives. They bring it into the session. We openly confront these things together. I give them a safe environment. I give them safe practices. I give them accountability things to go and do and come back and report to me. And they work through it. And they're like, oh my God, you are so amazing. And I have to remind them, no, you are so amazing. You are so amazing. You're doing the work. You're improving your life, and you're improving the quality of your life. And when the quality of one person's life is improved, everything that feeds off of them or that they're attached to, quality of life improves as well. And that's relationships with God, relationship with spouses, with friends, with family, with your children. Everything flows out of the heart of you. Scripture also speaks about renewing the mind and guarding the heart. Mental noise quiets when the soul feels anchored and safe. Mental noise quiets when the soul feels anchored and safe. You see, God's peace isn't loud. It's consistent. It's steady. Think of it like this. Mental noise is like having too many browser tabs open on your computer. How many do you have open? If you hit that key on your phone or you went to your computer, how many browser screens? I talked to a woman today. She told me she has 3 screens that she works on at the same time. And she laughed about it. And she's coming into a great awareness. On my phone, if I go into Google, I'll probably have 3 screens still open, Google Chrome. If I go into Safari, I probably have a good 12 open, and they're constantly open and they stay open. And I switch back and forth and I toggle and I check things out. Some are open as reminders that I want to do something on there. At some point, I want to get to it. And that's how our mind operates. We have too many browser tabs, which equals thoughts, unfinished business, unresolved issues of the day. We have too many left open in our mind. So it slows the system down. The system isn't broken, but it is overloaded. And this is why that happens. So I want you to do a self-awareness check on yourself. Self-awareness check. I want you to name the loudest thought in your mind. If it's today that you can recall it, or this week or this year so far, with all the work you're doing, your self-awareness, your discernment is on high. What is the loudest thought in your mind? If you can share, if not, ask yourself that question in your journal. And then I want to tell you how to do some therapy to that loud thought. What is the loudest thought in your mind? Yes, Renee Walton. Someone says mom guilt. Yep. I love this statement that you made. She says, the statement routine stabilizes our life hits especially when you were talking about scrolling, and it makes us think others are living better than we are. Absolutely. I've had a client had to deal with that. And part of the program, she could not do social media. It was causing her to overspend. It was causing her to buy things that not only she could not afford, but things that she didn't need. and it was causing real depression in her life, especially in regards to the areas where her soul felt lacking in relationships. She seemed drawn to looking at everybody else's relationships. She was drawn to looking at a lot of her ex's page and seeing their relationships, and it was just killing her focus. Her mental bandwidth was expanded. And part of her work, she had to get off of that. And we had to find other things in her life that she enjoyed doing. And lo and behold, she enjoyed photography, and she got very busy in photography and realized that looking through that lens was so much better than looking through that telephone lens at everyone else's life. Okay, very good. I'm reading some of y'all comments here. So let me ask you that. The loudest thought in your mind. This is the work I want you to do with it. Okay. It's 3 statements I want you to write down. 3. I want you to ask yourself, or even ask that thought, is this thought helpful? So you can ask yourself, Suzanne, is this thought helpful? Especially right now. You can add that on the end. Sometimes the thought is helpful, but the timing is off. Is this thought helpful? And even right now, and you can even address the thought, you are not helpful right now. We will deal with you later. Remember, think of them as kids that never grew up that are having tantrums. Then ask yourself, is this the loudest thought? Is it true? Sometimes they're not even truth. It's insecurity based, it's pride based, it's ego hurt based. Is this even true? And then, is it calm? Because if it's not calm, even if it's true, you need to address your nervous system. Okay? What's the loudest thought in your mind? Then ask yourself, is this thoughtful? Is this thought helpful? Is it true? Is it calm? Awareness begins with regulation. And tonight I want to remind you that your nervous system is something powerful. You definitely are not the same person you were 27 nights ago. Your brain has been practicing new patterns. Thought of you, Pastor D, because one of the things you asked that I go in further on is patterns. Your brain has been practicing new patterns. Your nervous system has been stabilizing, and your focus capacity has been strengthening. Isn't that powerful? So let's go to our neuroplasticity exercise. Are you ready? Are you ready? I want you to get into a sit or stand comfortable position. You can sit or stand. Get into your comfortable position. And this is what I want you to do tonight. I think I hit everything I wanted to hit here. Let me scan my notes. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. All right, let's get ready. Sitting or standing, I want you to take both your hands and sit them on your knees. If you're standing, just let your hands fall right in front of your knee area. I want you to take your right hand and I want you to put it on your left knee. And I want you to start tapping your left knee with your right hand. Just keep going. It's not hurting anything. Now, slowly alternate. I want you to take your left hand and I want you to put it on your right knee and I want you to tap your right knee. And I want you to keep tapping and I want you to do it slowly. And then I want you to alternate. Take that right hand, put it on your left knee, and tap your left knee with your right hand. I know there's some of y'all that are struggling. Put your right hand out, your left hand in. Okay, let's alternate. Take your left hand, put it on your right knee, and tap. Nice and simple. Nothing hard at all. No one can fail here. And when you're ready, I want you to alternate one more time for me. Taking your right hand and putting it on your left knee. What you're doing is activating both hemispheres of your brain. You're operating and activating both hemispheres of your brain. If you're struggling with this, and if you're like, "Oh, she said right," I'm just keep going. Just keep tapping and then switch over your left hand on your right knee and tap. You're activating both hemispheres of your brain. This increases neurocommunication. It strengthens coordination. And guess what else? We learned it on last night. It builds new pathways. Something as simple as that. Isn't that amazing? Who would go and spend $200 or whatever to go to see a doctor or a therapist or a life coach? And they say, "Okay, this is how we're going to do our session." You're like, "What?" But do you know you just paid them to help you build new neural pathways that you didn't have before you showed up in their office? Lean in on people's certification, training, experiences, licenses, education. Lean in on it. Take advantage of it. Powerful. How you feeling? How do you feel? You see, every repetition matters. Every small choice reshapes your brain. Do not sit and be stagnant. Do not sit and be oppressed or depressed. Get up, switch hands, tap your knee, lift one finger in the air and make circles with the other. Refuse to let the enemy have another day of your life, your body, and your mind. You are literally building a new internal environment. This isn't hype. This is neuroscience. This is stewardship. This is healing. Let's do one more before we end. We did this one last night, and we're going to do this one while we're here. I want you to take a breather. If you have to stretch a little bit. All right. I want you to find an object, and I want you to put your attention to that object, and I want you to fix your eyes on it for 10 seconds, and you must breathe slowly. And this is the breathing that we're going to do. You're going to inhale, counting 4, and you're going to exhale, counting 6. You're going to find an object, and you're going to fix your eyes on it and focus for 10 seconds. You're going to inhale at the count of 4 breaths, and you're going to exhale slowly at the count of 6 breaths. Ready? Find your object. Make sure you stop tapping. And now put your eyes on it for 10 seconds. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathe in. 4. See, I breathe way too fast. And release 6. How'd you do? Anyone find themselves breathing in real hard and real heavy? Yeah, you got to slow it down. Let's try it one more time before the night is done here. Find something to stare at for 10 seconds. And this time, I'm not going to count. You're going to stare at it. And while you're staring at it for 10 seconds, because this is your 10 seconds, you're going to breathe in for 4 seconds. You're going to breathe out for 6 seconds. That's your 10 seconds of calmness and stillness. Ready? Let's go. Do you know how much safety you just gave your nervous system? This calms your nervous system and strengthens your attention control. Who said you couldn't focus? This calmed your nervous system and strengthened attention control. Your brain is learning after these exercises that stillness is safe. There was a few people who said in the chat over these 27 nights that they don't like stillness or calmness or quietness. You are now training your brain that stillness is safe. A lot of us don't like stillness, aloneness, quietness, or silence because somewhere we learned it's not safe. You just gave yourself the most powerful 10 seconds of your day outside of your prayer time. Isn't that beautiful? You're teaching your brain, we are safe. I am safe. We're going to close with this declaration, and I want you to repeat after me. My brain is learning clarity. My nervous system is safe. My focus is strengthening daily. Old patterns are releasing. New pathways are forming. Let's do it one more time. My brain is learning clarity. My nervous system is safe. My focus is strengthening daily. Old patterns are releasing. New pathways are forming. Every repetition matters. Every small choice reshapes your brain. You have literally started building a new internal environment tonight. Father, we thank you for the Holy Spirit. Seal this work that is happening in every nervous system subject to this teaching and this leading of the Holy Spirit by your apostle. Stabilize their clarity, strengthen their focus, and restore their peace. Let these new pathways remain strong and healthy. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you for not trying harder, but rewiring smarter. I've been your host tonight, Apostle Dr. Suzanne M. Howard, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow night. Thank you. Thank you for your giving, and God bless you all with a safe and peaceful and restful night. I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. Thank you.